Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. I don't think I will be able to get a video out today, unfortunately, but I am recording this the 9th of May, and I'll try to get as much of it edited today as I can. It'll definitely come out tomorrow. We are here with the 5th episode of You, the mid-season finale. Pretty important episodes in most TV shows. And here, Joe's desire to keep killing intensifies in this season, causing tension with Kate. New characters with Bronte and the twins drive the story forward in unexpected ways. This was a very fucking crazy episode. And when you think it can't get any crazier, they throw some ridiculous shit at you. Kate's and Joe's relationship basically deteriorates this episode, leading to shocking revelations and a brutal confrontation. Man, every time you watch a You episode, you just cannot wait to figure out what happens in the next one, especially in this season, and we get that here, so let's talk about it. So obviously the show has been a fascinating and wild ride about serial killer Joe Goldberg and his belief that he can charm anyone he meets and solve any problems he causes. Once fans knew this season would premiere, it premiered like last month, they were excited to see how Joe's creepy tale would wrap up, and I got so excited I fucking started watching this series like right after it released, pretty much, and I didn't really do that for Squid Game, so that tells you how fucking hyped I was. So far this season, fans have watched Joe and Kate Lockwood's marriage hit a breaking point, and Joe's interest in Mooney's employee Bronte has increased, so that's kind of the storyline going on there. Now that the season is pretty much halfway over, what is Joe going to do about his desire to keep killing, and can he and Kate survive this relationship, and mortally as well? We're just gonna have to get into kind of what happens. We have a giant discussion on this channel as always, just like the plot. These videos have been pretty short. I'm fine with that. I do like kind of getting to the point with my reviews. So let's get into it. This episode is called The Last Dance, which is cool. It opens with Joe and Bronte together as Kate and Joe continue to pretend that they can handle their current situation. They're kind of just coping with the fact that this marriage is not going to work out, and they're trying to act like everything's normal. They're trying to like act it out for their son Henry, and it's not really working out. Of course, viewers know that won't be impossible. Kate asks a Lockwood Corporation employee to look into Joe, and then learns about Joe and Bronte's affair when she sees Bronte walking outside Mooney's bookstore. So Joe is in all sorts of fucking trouble. He can't even really pretend anymore. The tensions are boiling. Kate is finding out that he is with a different woman now. Kate talks to Teddy, Griffin Matthews, really dope actor, about what she's learned about Joe's past, including the fact that Marion Bellamy, who is played by Tati Gabrielle in like the last couple of seasons, disappeared. It's a lot of crazy shit. She's starting to put like 1 and 2 together, or 2 and 2 together, whatever the fuck the saying is.
What the hell, boy?
And she's really starting to figure out more about Joe here, more than he even let on before. She wonders if there's more to the story of Love Quinn's death, who obviously was played by Victoria Pedretti, reminding fans of Joe's brutal murder of Love at the end of You Season 3, I believe it was 2 seasons ago. Holy shit. Just reminding us of all the shit, all of the things that Joe has done. And I think that's obviously like a good thing the show is doing, is all the things that Joe has been doing is kind of coming back to haunt him, kind of creeping back on him as more people close to him are kind of figuring out what he did. A lot of people thought that like Ellie Alves, who is Jenna Ortega's character, would show up in this season. New characters like Bronte and the twins are compelling and different. I do think it is awesome. I actually really do enjoy Bronte's character a lot. So when Bronte rejects Joe and he gets worried, her tough personality becomes even more intriguing. It's like, what is with this girl? What makes her so special? All these things. It's actually kind of crazy. So many people are speculating that Jenna Ortega was going to be back in the show. She's not yet, but I honestly would not be surprised if they brought her back later. He runs into Maddie and says in a month they'll say Reagan died after getting lost at sea in the Philippines, so now she kind of has to keep playing this facade of being Reagan. Maddie doesn't like this idea, of course, but that's the least of Joe's problems when he sees a note from Bronte saying she left. Just out of the blue, boom, she is out of the store, she's out of his life, just like that. After the some very awkward sexual tension occurred. Her number is out of service and she hasn't posted on social media. Joe freaks out, proving that he has to be in control of his life at all times and that he can't stand when people behave in ways that he doesn't agree with or didn't anticipate. It's kind of an immature mindset, but that's just kind of how Joe is as a person. So after finding a knife in their bed as well, he still has the problems at home. He confronts Kate, who says she knows the truth about him and she's trying to keep her family safe. She's trying to keep Henry safe. She knows how big of a fucking monster he is. She says, "I gave you my heart," and Joe replies, "You took it back when I showed you mine." That was a fire line, I'm not gonna lie. Joe reminds both Kate and viewers of the show that she's not innocent and has killed people before too, when he says, "You've twisted the story to make me out to be the only villain." And I'm not gonna lie, there are some points here where you do kind of support Joe, and that's obviously unhealthy because Joe is a fucking even worse monster. Like, he killed with intent. It's crazy. There were definitely some times where I was supporting Joe. I found myself doing that, which It's kind of fucked up. But then this episode kicks into high gear when Kate says she's divorcing Joe. She makes it official. The relationship's not going to work. It's over. And Joe gets an email from Clayton, who we know is Tom Francis, whom he contacted with a fake email address to kind of figure out where he was. He's trying to get intel. He's trying to be the savior of Bronte, even though she tells him time and time again, I don't need anyone to save me. You're not here to save me. You're not going to be the one to save me. Which, while Kate could have become evil like Joe, she's clearly working against him now. I don't know. Joe knows he still has a knack for solving mysteries and putting pieces together when he breaks into Clayton's apartment, gets on his laptop and tracks down Bronte at the Laurel Diner in Atlantic Beach. If you guys don't know, Atlantic Beach is like a place in New York where people used to go to gamble. I don't know if the casinos are as crazy there now, but it's some pretty cool scenery to add to the show. In a brief phone chat, Bronte says, please forget about me. Joe says they can be together and asks, what if it was you and only you? Joe finds Bronte at a house called the Sandbox, but she tasers him and he passes out, which is fucking crazy. And from here, the episode just fucking escalates. I mean, the end of it is absolutely insane. Again, I say this all the time. This is probably one of the crazier endings I've seen to an episode of You. Holy shit. Like, this right here might be like the last straw for Joe. Again, fans wanted to see several past characters, but for now, the new characters are riveting enough to keep fans invested. You know, at the end of this episode, Kate goes to Reagan's house and doesn't know that she's really talking to Maddie. So Maddie's trying to play these games, trying to play this facade and act like Reagan, and she just can't fucking do it anymore. It gets to a point. When she thinks the twins are fighting, she breaks into the bathroom and Maddie confesses to killing Reagan. It's a tell-all. I mean, Maddie reveals everything. She killed Reagan because she was plotted by Joe to do so, and this gives Kate kind of some confirmation that, yeah, Joe is a monster. We need to take this man down. Maddie calls Joe a lunatic and says things are better now because he made her see that her twin mistreated her throughout their life, and it's interesting because, yeah, she thinks Joe is a monster and like he put her up to this, but at the same time she's very contradictory because at the same time she's thinking like, he kind of helped me, you know, I did not need my twin in my life. She was slowing me down, she was degrading me at any given moment, and obviously Reagan deserved to go, but in the way she did, it was kind of unjustifiable. This is an important moment since it shows that Joe has charmed Maddie even though she thinks that she can see through him. Joe and Kate continue to watch their relationship crumble, and they each handle it a different way. Joe and Bronte's relationship deepens as they dance together, and Joe wonders if their relationship could be real. Is this even fucking real? Kate tells Teddy that she asked Joe to kill Bob, and they killed Reese Montrose in the previous season. She says, I unleashed a monster, and didn't want to turn into her dad, but realizes she married someone just like him, so in turn, she kind of inherited some traits, and she's starting to turn into her dad, which in no way how she wanted this company to be directed. Teddy is alarmed at Kate's behavior and says, maybe you should lose everything. And like, Teddy's starting to realize, you're an asshole yourself. You're no fucking superhero here. You're no goody two-shoes. And Teddy is one of the more morally grounded characters in this entire show. And they're showing that in this episode. Seriously. This haunting scene proves why this season was as highly anticipated as other 2025 Netflix shows. Obviously, you get the next season of Stranger Things coming up, and this show definitely stacks up with that. Back at the cottage, holy fucking shit, Joe kills Clayton after a brutal fight, and Bronte's two friends show up and are filming it for social media. So Joe has been caught in the act for the first time. One friend says, our friend Clayton is dead and Joe Goldberg fucking killed him. You Season 5 has its biggest twist when Joe thinks, did Bronte set him up and catfish him? Holy shit. There are so many things to fucking talk about this episode. I'll leave it off there. Just kind of getting into a general review, man, oh fucking man, what an episode that was. That was incredible. Bronte, like, there might be even a double facade. She might have been faking being a lover to Joe. She's hiding her identity as like a dental hygienist. And she might even be hiding the fact that she's just using Joe in a relationship to get back at him and maybe solve a mystery. You know, she's very much into literature and all this stuff. Maybe she was using him this whole time so she could frame him for some murder. That he did, of course. It's crazy. I don't really know where they're going to be taking this in the next 5 episodes. We still have a whole half a season left, and Joe seems to be caught in the deed. Probably for the first time where he can't really escape it in the entire show run. So it's really getting crazy. I mean, this is a perfect way to kind of tell this story for season 5, and for them to really boil down the storyline is like, yeah, Joe is finally getting caught. It's a very realistic storyline. It follows like the lineage of so many other serial killers in modern day society and even back then. It's awesome. I think think they're executing the season really, really well so far. I think that twist was incredible. And I think, you know, the whole thing with Kate chasing him down, the whole thing with Bronte turning on him, everyone's kind of just turning on Joe because people are finally morally grounded. People are finally conscious enough to realize this guy's a piece of shit. He needs to be taken down. And obviously there's a lot of contradiction. There's a lot of hypocrisy with kind of how Bronte and kind of how Kate are handling things. But Joe's the biggest monster of them all. So at the end of the day, he definitely needs to be taken down. And I think in the final 5 episodes, that's what they're going to set up as. So with that being said, I'm out, guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to leave it off there. Again, kind of sum the videos up pretty quickly here. I do think this episode will probably be longer than some of the others. It's been a fun fucking ride. It's been so worth it. I'm out, guys. Peace.